Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from Central Texas, USA at 9:08 a.m. It's 52 top, depends on your choice, up or down degrees. It's cool, a little damp, overcast right now. The high today is supposed to be 77. Thank you. But what else? Oh, as we're driving along this morning, I thought I would just touch on something that would benefit a lot of people, because as those of you who are older know, there are a lot of things that change as you grow older. A lot of physical changes occur as we grow older. And I mean like up into our 60s, 70s, and on. And for those younger people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, what they'll find out if if we get comments, is to let these younger folks know that a lot of things that they think are an illness or something is wrong with them is perfectly natural. For example, diet. Well, as you get older, I'm 72, younger guys and girls, one of the things you're going to have to do is probably modify your diet. In other words, you probably are going to have to be really careful eating steak, okay? Why? Because steak is not only hard to digest, sometimes it can be hard to swallow if you don't chew it really well, and you will choke. Even in your younger days, that's one of the foods that causes choking most often is steak. The next food that causes choking is dry chicken or poultry, like breasts, okay? Because if you don't chew it real well and moisten it and swallow it, you'll choke. And it's nothing wrong with you. You don't have throat cancer or anything like that. You could have, but I doubt that you do. It's just perfectly normal that as you get older, that's why a lot of older people eat a lot of soup. That's why, because it's easy to digest and it's easy to swallow. Another thing that changes when you're young, staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning and partying hardy is just a way of life, and you assume that everybody's going to do that the rest of their life. Well, got some news for you. As you grow older, that's going to become less and less entertaining and not much fun at all. Because when you're my age, and I remember George Burns said this, he said he woke up at age 90 in the morning and he felt like he had a hangover and he hadn't had anything to drink the night before. Now, I don't have those feelings, but if I don't get a good night's sleep, like 9 hours plus, then I feel like I've been deprived, all right? So that's going to change. And what else? Well, your sleep patterns change. When you're young, you hang out till 2 o'clock in the morning and then sleep till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And, you're not going to be doing much of that as you grow older. Back to diet. One thing you will have to remember as you get older, into your 60s and later for sure, in my opinion, which is worth nothing, and all of these are just my opinion and my thoughts. I'm not a doctor at all. Don't plan to be. But after even in your 50s or whatever, you better chew your food really well, or there's a good chance you're going to choke no matter what it is, okay? Now, some people may not have much of an issue with it. Most do. It's very common according to Mayo Clinic. In fact, about 80% of elderly people suffer from that issue. Elderly being over the age of 60. Another thing that occurs is your hair on your head gets thinner. Why? I don't know. It just does. And some people it occurs later in life. Some people, it's all, I think that's genetics, but as it thins a little bit, for men, you'll see it like me. I wear a hat now. Of course, my hair is not that thin yet, but it's getting there. I mean, it may come back. I don't know, but I wear a hat now. And another thing for you men, young men or whatever, as you grow older, you get these little age things on your face. They call them old age spots. And you can have them burned off if you've got the money to pay the dermatologist to do it, because Medicare doesn't pay for that sort of stuff. They don't pay for any cosmetic stuff unless there's a medical reason for it. So if you can have the wherewithal to get those bumps and lumps taken off, then you haven't got a problem. You'll have a nice smooth face that you can shave, no problemo. Otherwise, you're going to have a bumpy, lumpy face, and when you try to shave it with a razor blade particularly, you're going to look like you've been cut with a switchblade, because it's going to be little bleeding here and there and here and there. And that's why on occasion myself, what I do is I just grow me a little stubby beard and keep it trimmed with a little trimmer with a head on it that allows for about a 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch of beard, and then I can just zip and it's done. And those are just a few of the millions of things that are going to change young folks. And here's something else. Nobody talks about these things, even though I don't have an issue with them. I did years ago because I didn't know what it was. But things like hemorrhoids, whenever, you get up off the toilet and you see blood in the toilet, it doesn't mean you're dying. I mean, it could be a sign of something else, but 99 times out of 100, it's probably a small hemorrhoid that you need to find out about, because it's natural. Our diet lends itself to hemorrhoids. We don't have a high fiber diet in our country, so our feces or poop or whatever you want to call it is firm, and it stretches your intestines and can cause some bleeding. But and those, I remember one time I was in my 40s. I was actually teaching it in Refugio, and I pooped in the morning, and I saw some blood in my toilet, and I thought, oh God, it's over. This is it. I've got terminal cancer. And anyway, it turned out it was just a simple little hemorrhoid, and it went away after a few days. But those are things that happen as you grow older, that there's a lot of things that are occurring naturally, normally, that you as a young person, see, I didn't have any older guidance. See, my parents died. My father died when I was very young. I think I was 22. I believe that's correct. And so, I didn't have an old man I could ask, And so I kind of learned everything on my own, or listened, or somebody would say something and my ears would perk up. And there was no internet when I was growing up, so you couldn't do a Google search to go check it out. But now you can go to Dr. Google with any little thing you've got and at least get some information, whether it's valid or good or reliable or whatever. It's, that depends. But at least you'll find out something. If you get a rash or whatever, you can go to Dr. Google and see pictures of it. I didn't have that capability until I was age, 50 or later. Yeah, after age 50, the internet became part of my life, I guess. I'd say that's about true. Maybe a small part at that age, yeah. So, I had missed a lot of opportunities to check out things that I wished I would have been able to check out. But anyway, guys, we're in Burnett County, Texas. It's an overcast day. High today is supposed to be 77. And if you people have some thoughts on some normal things that occur as you age, well, throw them in as a comment, because somebody that watches my channel may be in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, or 50s, and read that comment and think, well, I'll be darned, I didn't know that. Or, oh my gosh, that's normal. I'll check that out. And there's a lot of stuff, just a lot of things that occur naturally, and people go to doctors to get it remedied, and the doctor gives you a placebo and tells you to come back in 2 weeks. A placebo is like a sugar pill or something, just to let you think you're doing something for your body. And always come back in 2 weeks, always. I always wonder why they said 2 weeks as opposed to 1 or 10. Because then they make you an annuity. Then you become a regular paying customer. And you got to know that any professional whether it's a CPA, an attorney, a doctor, or anybody, loves that repeat business because that's what puts the food on the table. You know, that's why attorneys particularly will charge you for phone calls, because, you know, then they'll charge you for any phone call they make to anybody. If they call another attorney to ask a question, that's billable time. As a CPA, if you go into a client's file and do anything, that's billable time. And believe me, a lot of those files are padded to the max, particularly for the big clients. And that goes for attorneys, doctors, and other professionals. Not all of them, but you'd be surprised. But what does that have to do with growing older? I don't know. But yeah, you have to be a little bit more aware of your health as you grow older. You want to try to eat a better diet, you know, fruits, veggies and stuff. Oatmeal's okay, soups are great, beans are all right, lentils. You know, you want to be careful when you add high fiber items to your diet, though. You don't want to add a lot in a short period of time, because those things cause you to have gas, and not only will you lose a few friends, but you can actually get pain in your gut from gas. And this has been a wonderful conversation. But this is Burnett, Texas, population around 5,000, I think. A nice little community in central Texas. This is Highway 29. I'm going to go to the RV place here today and just see if they've got anything new in. Kind of add a little flavor to my videos. They need a lot of flavor, I know. I'll say that before somebody else does. I'll beat you to the punch. So here we go. It's 40-mile-an-hour speed limit, and I'm going 43. I'll slow down because I got a deputy sheriff, I think, behind me. And in this little town right here, you got to know that they've got to make their payroll, so they're encouraged to give out as many tickets as they can. You know, I've often wondered if there were quotas. You know, in other words, if a Department of Public Safety officer or a police officer or any kind of patrolman didn't issue any citations or tickets in a month, if they would be reprimanded for not having done their job. In other words, if they just gave everybody warning tickets. I doubt it. I don't doubt it. I would think that if they weren't producing, that they would be probably moved, maybe out the door. And those that produce a lot, write a lot of tickets and all that stuff, they're the ones that's going to get the promotions. You got to know that. Okay, so here we go. This is a side street. Off to the right here is a little restaurant that's got pretty good food. It's called Mama's Home Cooking. And I've never eaten there. But here we are at the little RV place. I don't know that they've got anything new. And I don't think they open till 10. And it's 9:21 now. But I'll walk around here and see what I can stir up. Now, where am I going to park? I guess I'll park over here. Well, what I do, I'll turn around and back in. How about that? That way they won't trap me, maybe. He also sells used cars. That's what it was before he started selling RVs. It was just a big old used car lot. We'll stop right in here. That's good. But anyway, guys, from Central Texas, USA, this is Rusty78609 saying, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye, bye, bye. Anything you want, anytime you want. But if you would, please use the link to Amazon products in the description of my videos. Why? Because I'm an Amazon affiliate. I get a small commission, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So if you're going to buy something from Amazon anyway, well, why not use the link? I know it's a little inconvenient, and if you don't do it, don't worry about it. What else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day will not hurt you. It's good for you. It will help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it will also help you lose weight if that's what you want to do. The next thing is take deep breaths. Breathe in deep, hold it for a few seconds, then breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure. And lowering your blood pressure is probably one of the best things you can do, other than stand guard at the door of your mind. Because you don't want to let negative Nancy and negative Ned climb right inside of your head and dump a bunch of trash. Also, stretch, walk, keep your health, eat right. And, think about the changes as you go through life, because you just have to, life is a series of adapting to change. And if you don't adapt well, life is probably going to be a little frustrating. But anyway, having said that, enjoy your day. Adios, amigos.